Episode 718. After Lord Grimm's long absence from the 10th server, things finally settled into the shape the major guilds had been hoping for. The dungeon records had always been under their control. Players gradually came to recognize the power of these major guilds. Happy had briefly attracted widespread attention, but without Lord Grimm around and no records to catch their eye, the interest in them fell far short of what the big guilds commanded. But now Lord Grimm was back. Could it be he planned to set a few more records and then leave? The players of the 10th server had finally started to forget about Lord Grimm. So why was he back? Had he planned it all along? When the core members of the major guilds got wind of this news, they couldn't help but spit blood themselves. They really wanted to take to the streets and hold a protest march. Every guild branch leader had Lord Grimm on their friends list. But when it came time to speak up, only Blue River dared to step forward.
You're back again.
Blue River made sure to emphasize that word, again. To be honest, with Lord Grimm gone, he felt a lot less pressure. Competing against other guilds, no matter the situation, always felt like familiar territory. Only when facing Lord Grimm did the constant surprises leave you so exasperated you could only spit blood in resignation. Blue River felt that when it came to an opponent like this, it was best to avoid them if possible. This was a view he'd held since the guilds first joined forces.
Came back to snag a boss.
Yi Shu replied.
Snatch a boss?
Even Blue River was stunned.
Blue Crystal Knight, that's the name, right? The one that drops blue-white crystal.
What do you want with it?
I thought I'd already made my intentions clear.
You want blue-white crystal?
Yeah. Hey, does your guild have any?
No.
Blue River answered without hesitation.
Oh, so, Blue Crystal Knight, how many times have you killed it? Which guilds managed to kill it? Why isn't anyone speaking up?
I'm not your spy.
Blue River spoke, his voice drained of all energy.
You've already covered your guild's situation. I'm asking about the other guilds now.
Of course I wouldn't know about the other guilds.
Blue River found this deeply frustrating. That's true. This lie of mine would only fool a newbie in the beginner village. When it comes to killing a boss, even if your own guild didn't get the kill, you'd still know which guild did. How could something that simple be a mystery?
The Blue Crystal Knight has been taken 3 times so far. By Tyrannical Ambition, Herb Garden, and then Jade Dynasty.
Your guild is pretty weak, huh?
Blue River said nothing more, but in his heart he thought,
Our guild crushed every other boss fight. You think I'd tell you about that?
Hey, been keeping our happy guild in shape lately?
I log in every now and then.
Speaking of which, even Blue River found it a bit awkward. The guild leader had already moved on to the heavenly domain, yet he still took it upon himself to occasionally guide Happy's guild operations. Still, this gave Blue River a new perspective on the whole undercover gig. He figured being a mole didn't necessarily have to mean selling intel as the main gig. Sometimes, fostering a bit of goodwill between both sides, letting everyone prosper together, that seemed like a pretty decent way to go about it too.
How's Happy Guild doing now?
This question gave Blue River a strange sense of déjà vu. A guild leader, reduced to asking the spy from another guild what was happening in his own guild. What the hell is going on here? Blue River really wanted to remind him, I'm the mole. But think about it, this line was supposed to be a triumphant, head held high kind of speech. How did it end up turning into a Shanglin Sao style, endlessly repeated lament for him? Blue River thought about all that and just couldn't bring himself to say it again.
The situation's pretty stable. Development's going well.
About time we set up a guild warehouse system, don't you think?
Blue River was startled once more.
You don't actually think I don't know, do you?
Blue River fell silent again. He didn't actually think the big shot was unaware of such a basic thing. More like the big shot had simply forgotten, and he was counting on that.
If we don't set up a warehouse system soon, the guild will fall apart, don't you think?
Yes.
Blue River managed a reluctant reply.
So, how about it? Got any spare equipment in your stockpile? Send some our way first.
No.
Blue River turned him down again, no hesitation at all.
Stingy.
Yi Shu was thoroughly unimpressed.
Handle it yourself then.
Blue River shot back a quick reply. For a guild that had fallen this far, the guild warehouse system was a crucial link. It was the key to whether the guild could continue to develop. For Happy Guild, this isn't a question of growth anymore. It's a question of survival. To the guilds of the major clubs, this guild was nothing more than a thorn in their side. Using the guild warehouse system is a bloodless way to dismantle Happy Guild. The guild warehouse system was the fundamental institution that held a guild together, and at the same time, the most important measure of a guild's strength. A guild warehouse offers far more storage than a personal one, and its capacity can be upgraded continuously as the guild levels up. Within the guild leader holds the highest authority over the warehouse. In fact, to the guild leader, the guild warehouse is no different from their personal storage. Of course, just having a big warehouse isn't that impressive. The core of a guild's warehouse system isn't the warehouse itself, it's how you manage and deploy the supplies inside it. That's what truly matters. Every major guild had its own warehouse system, but the underlying principle was more or less the same. In the guild warehouse, every guild stockpiles all sorts of equipment, and the guild leader holds absolute authority over their distribution. It's not an exaggeration to call them the leader's personal property. These items stored in the guild warehouse weren't just for show, they were meant for the guild's players to use. But every guild had its own system for managing equipment, and this was what they called the warehouse system.